This video was made possible by LG. So I just came back from CES 2020 and I was thoroughly impressed. I got to race an RC truck against AI, Razer had an amazing sim racing setup, there were crazy gadgets that propelled you underwater, a robot that painted, and I even saw the legend himself playing ping pong against a robot. But this video isn't about telling you how dope CES is, let's talk about the coolest tech for students. First, Withings announced their new smartwatch called the Scanwatch, and this thing is seriously impressive. So this essentially picks up where the Apple Series 4 and Series 5 watch started in terms of taking an ECG function and the health aspect of a smartwatch and taking it to the next level. Now in terms of looks, this has an older school analog style to it, but it does have a small inset PM OLED screen. Now this really comes down to personal preference. I generally like the more analog styles. I think those are much more classic and timeless and more aesthetically pleasing. But if you prefer a more traditional digital screen, then that's totally up to you. In terms of functions, it has what you'd expect from a smartwatch. So of course you get notifications and text messages, you can see your steps, your heart rate. Now the newer functions, the health related functions, first of all, there is an ECG very similar to what the Apple Series 4 introduced. And again, this is going to be a lead 1 ECG. You wear the watch on one wrist and then you use the other hand and touch the actual casing, and that kind of completes the circuit. So you have a lead 1 ECG. And just like the Apple Watch, this is going to be best at detecting things like atrial fibrillation. But since it's just a lead 1 ECG and not a 12 lead, you're not going to really be able to assess many other types of arrhythmias. Now the cool thing here is with their app, you can actually play back the waveform and you can seamlessly with one click send it to your physician. Now the second function is something newer. This is where they're tracking sleep apnea using an SpO2 sensor. So they're looking at your oxygen saturation in your blood and also tracking your movement during your sleep. And while this won't be able to diagnose sleep apnea, this can at least indicate to your physician that further testing may be indicated. The watch also comes with a sapphire display, so super scratch resistant. You can get it in 38 or 42 millimeters for $249 or $299 respectively. You can get it with a black or white watch face. The battery life lasts up to 30 days, and that's because the small PM OLED screen is just black and white, doesn't take up that much juice. And unlike other smartwatches, you can use a regular watch band on it. They're totally interchangeable with other standard watches. You don't need a proprietary smartwatch band connector. The watch is currently undergoing FDA certification for its health functions and should be available later in the fall. Next up, we have the LG Ultrafine display ERGO 32 UN880 and 27 QN880. So these are two new monitors. One is a 32-inch 4K and the other is a 27-inch 1440p. Image quality is of course amazing, IPS display, HDR10, 95% P3 color gamut. And in terms of ports, you have not only the traditional HDMI, but also USB-C, so you can connect your laptop for the display while powering it at the same time. But that's not why this made the list. The really unique aspect of this monitor is the flexible arm, or what they call the ERGO stand. So this allows you to actually move the monitor very flexibly and seamlessly. You can extend or retract it by 18 centimeters, you can swivel it by 280 degrees, move it up and down by 13 centimeters, pivot, tilt it as well, make it from landscape to portrait, things like that. Now, as some of you know, I've struggled with lower back pain for some time now, and I've obsessed over ergonomics and standing desk versus seated desk, and what does the actual science have to say? I even made a video about that on the Med School Insiders channel. Now what LG is addressing with this new product is that usually monitors don't have much flexibility in terms of their positioning, and as a result, you don't have that much control over your ergonomics. So what I like about this is that you can move the monitor to any position you want, and then it just stays there. You don't need to tighten anything or adjust anything, you just move it, and then boom, it sticks. So as I stated in that standing desk versus sitting video, you really want to be moving. Standing for too long or sitting for too long, both are not ideal. Now this ERGO stand allows you to effortlessly adjust your stand based on your current position. So maybe you're starting off standing and then you want to lean back and sit in a slightly different position, you can adjust the monitor. Maybe you want to transition to standing, you can adjust the monitor again. If you're working with other people, then you can actually swivel it around and show different people, making it even more useful in a collaborative environment. Number 3, we have the Brainco Focus Fit Headband. Now, according to the company, Brainco helps train your mind to perform at the best in everything you do. Brainco's cutting-edge wearable brainwave visualizer can help you settle your mind, improve your focus, and achieve a higher level of performance at school, work, or play. Now, the reason this caught my eye is because they claim that it can help you study more effectively, it can improve your performance, you can have faster recovery, and it even enhances mindfulness. Now, using this headband, they measure your brainwaves as an EEG would, and then they process it through their AI-based algorithm. So there's 3 main states it really identifies. The first is default. When you're distracted, there's a lot of things happening, kind of our baseline, our default state of operating. Then on one end of the spectrum, you have mindfulness, where you really calm yourself, try not to think about anything too distracting or too stimulating. Think of like focusing on your breath or mindfulness meditation. And then on the other end, you have focus. So if you are studying or if you're really intensely concentrating on one thing, those are the two main, I guess, directions. It's measuring your brain activity. Now, when I tried it, I was able to really drop my score, drop the number, which indicated I was calming myself when I was doing mindfulness meditation, focusing on my breathing. But when I tried focusing on something, I wasn't really able to increase my score. So I'm not sure exactly how effective this is. Now, that doesn't necessarily say anything about their technology. That's just probably me and my brain and how I operate. And I can't really say how legit or whether or not this actually works, but I think it is a super cool concept, and I'm excited to see what kind of directions this technology takes in the coming years. Number 4, we have another headband. This is the Urgonight, and this headband is focused on improving your sleep. Now, this isn't a sleep tracker that you wear at night while you sleep. Instead, you actually use this during the daytime to train your brain so that you sleep more effectively. Now, similar to the Focus Fit, the Urgonight has a smartphone app, and that's going to give you some neurofeedback. So based on your brain activity, you can actually see different results on your screen. And usually they make this either graphs or games, interactive games, things like that. So the way this works is they want to amplify your SMR waves, which are very commonplace during your sleep, and they also overlap with sleep spindles. Now, there are some studies demonstrating that this SMR daytime training can improve sleep quality at night. That being said, I did not actually take a deep dive into the literature and read these articles. I just looked at a few different abstracts. So don't quote me on that. You'll have to look at the research yourself and analyze the strengths and weaknesses to actually see if it's legit, but definitely seems interesting at the very least. So the way this works is you wear the band and you have these training sessions. Now, they want you to do 3 sessions per week, 20 minutes each in duration. And they say that after 15 to 20 sessions, you'll start seeing results. And after 40 sessions, you'll have long-lasting changes in your sleep. The Urgonight Headband will be released this June for $500. Number 5, we have noise-canceling headphones. Now, there were a lot of headphones at CES, and my favorite were the Shure Aonic 50s. And these are full-size cans. Shure is hoping they're going to dethrone the current king, which is the Sony WH-1000XM3s. I'm looking forward to seeing Jim from Jim's review room, what he has to say about these headphones. And number 6, let's highlight some other really cool tech. First of all, Sit Tight came out with a stool, and what they're calling this is active sitting, whereby you engage your core, and it's much more of an active process, keeps you moving. And if we go back to the standing versus sitting debate, we know that movement is key. So I haven't tried it. It's not the prettiest thing, but it does look very interesting. Next up, GlueTrack is this smartwatch that also tracks your blood sugar. It's designed for diabetics. And it's kind of crazy. Apparently, it just uses optical sensors and has a calibration period where you need an actual glucometer where you tell it what your results are, what your blood sugar is. But after that point, after a few days of calibration, then it has 90% accuracy, which seems almost too good to be true. Now, this is a big need for diabetic patients, and I've seen a lot of different startups try to address this need with various methods that don't require the traditional means that are kind of invasive. So if it actually works, this is super cool. And lastly, Hobot, which is a robot that cleans windows, and I included it here because I like the name. All right, guys, what was your favorite? Let us know with a comment down below. Much love to you all, and I will see you guys in that next one.